Hello, my friends. Today, we have a really fun experiment. We're going to be doing an experiment with water. Today's experiment is all about finding out if things float or sink. So, I'm going to give you a bunch of different objects. You're going to tell me if you think it's going to float or sink. And then we'll test it. Okay? Here we go. The first thing we're going to test is this rock, okay? It's a fancy rock. It's a little blue rock. Do you think this rock will float or sink? Why? Maybe. Let's find out. You ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh, did it float or did it sink? Yeah, it definitely sunk. It's sitting at the bottom of the bowl now. Let me get this paper towel so I can dry things off as they come out. Okay, so rocks sink. Let's see, what about this clothespin? Do you think this will float or sink? Why? Let's find out in 3, 2, 1. It floated! It's not sinking to the bottom, you see? It's just staying on the top of the water. Super cool. Okay, so this one floats. Let's see. Okay, now I have this lock. And we know from 2 weeks ago that this lock is magnetic. But do you think it can float or do you think it will sink? Very good guesses, my friends. Are you ready to find out? In 3, 2, 1. Oh, that definitely sunk. Did you hear the thud? So this is really heavy, and so it sunk in the water. Great. Okay, now I have this finger puppet monster. Rawr. Do you think that he will sink or float? Okay, let's find out. Ready? 3, 2, 1. He sunk. Why do you think he sunk? I thought he was going to float. But he's all the way at the bottom of the water now. Oh, I see. He has a hole in him. So it filled up with water and it made him sink. Let's see if we can put him like this. His arms are a little long. If we put him like this, he kind of floats. But if he fills up with water, what happens? He sinks. He gets too heavy. So this guy sunk, but he can float. Okay, my friends, now we have, a ping pong ball. Do you think that this ping pong ball will sink or float? Let's see. Ready? 1, 2, 3. The ping pong ball floats. It's very light and it has air in it, so it's floating. Ping pong ball floats. Awesome job. Now I have this straw. Now I'm going to cut it down because the whole straw won't fit in this bucket. So Do you think that this straw will sink or float? Let's find out. Ready? It's floating. Super cool, right? Now, let's do, this has a hole just like this guy. Let's see if we maybe fill this up, if it'll sink. Ready? It's floating right now. Let's try to make it sink. Oh. Even though this has a hole just like the monster, this guy still floats. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, let's do a few more things. Let me grab some stuff from my cabinet. Okay, we have some peanuts. Javi heard me open the peanuts, so now he wants one. Here you go, bud. So, do you think that these peanuts will sink or float? Here, I'll do one whole peanut. Do you think this will sink or float? Let's find out. Ready? Oh, it sunk for a minute and then it popped right back up. So peanuts float. Interesting. Now as I try to grab it. Oh no. Come here, bud. Okay. And let's see, what else do I have? Ooh, I have some Christmas sprinkles. Do you think sprinkles will sink or float? If I can open them. This hurts my fingers. Okay, so we're going to test out these little baby sprinkles. Ready? Oh, did you see? Do you see? They're all floating to the bottom. I thought for sure that sprinkles would float. That was very interesting. I liked that. Okay, we have time for one more. Let me find something good. Okay, so, no, that's not a good idea. I have some coriander, which is a type of seasoning. It's a seed, actually. So, coriander looks a lot like sprinkles, doesn't it? It's just little balls. Do you think that coriander will sink or float? Well, let's find out. Ready? That's so interesting. The coriander floats, but the sprinkles, which are basically the same thing, or they look the same, sink. Why do you think that is? Well, it must be that the sprinkles are a little bit heavier and more dense. That means that all of their little bits that make them up are closer together, which makes it a little bit heavier. Interesting, my friends. So, try your own sink or float experiment at home and tell me what your results are. Thanks for playing. Bye.